In Europe, we have a migrant crisis on our hands in 2021, and so far, no one's got any solution to the waves of migrants and refugees coming in. Maybe you didn't know, but in 2020, Europe had record illegal migrants coming in, and 2021 is already on track to beat those numbers. In this video, we will take a look at why 2021 is already seeing such a drastic increase in numbers and what consequences it will have for Europe. Make sure to watch the whole video to get the best overview of what's going on. Welcome to the channel, my name is Soran. To show you what's happening, we're going to take a look at a practical example that's very symbolic of what's going on all across Europe right now. So the BBC is reporting that more than 150 migrants arrived in England after attempting to cross the channel at the weekend, the channel from France to England. On Saturday, Border Force dealt with 103 people on 6 boats, while the French authorities stopped 3 vessels from entering UK waters. They caught around 150 people over just a couple of days in just a weekend, right? And if there's 150 people caught, you can be sure that there's many more people attempting to cross the waters. The French and the British authorities are recognizing this, so now it says that the Coast Guard's fixed wing aircraft and Border Force vessels Searcher, Vigilant and Neptune were deployed to search UK waters. So the British Royal Navy is deployed to at least try to get rid of some of the illegal activities going on right now in the waters. In spite of them deploying their navies, both the French and the British, the article says that at least 8,400 people made the crossing in 2020 last year, while the year before only 1,844 did. That's 4 times, more than 4 times the amount of illegal crossings, illegal immigrants coming into Britain, specifically in this case from France. And that was 1 week ago. So that's 7 days ago. This article just came out yesterday, and it talks about the same case, about how the Royal Navy again stopped the same amount of people again over a weekend. So it's happening. It's not an isolated case between France and England. This is something that's going on, and it's been going on all throughout January, and it'll continue because it did all 2020. It'll continue to go on all 2021 as well. Most of these migrants are arriving from France into southern England, and the reason that we're seeing this huge overflow of illegal migration coming out of France right now is that for a long time France has been taking in almost uncontrolled migration from both Syria and North Africa. They used to be able to pretty well categorize most of these people and make sure who they were and where they would be going next into all of Europe. But during the pandemic, all of these southern European nations who initially take in the migrants, Italy, Greece and Spain, have now effectively shut down their borders. They still take in some migrants, but nowhere near what they used to be. All of these nations, Syria, North African nations, they still suffer greatly during the pandemic. So they're not going to stop sending all of the people they can get away with sending to Europe in search for a better life. But that means that since we're not taking that many people in legally, almost all of these people are trying to come into Europe illegally. And that's why we're seeing this huge uptick in illegal crossings into Europe. At the same time, we have like weird stories like this one, where on the Canary Islands, they're obviously like for tourists usually, but now they have thousands of migrants trying to go that extra step to come into Europe on a different route. So now they're going to the Canary Islands, which is off the coast of Africa, but they are part of Spain, so they're part of Europe. They arrive on the Canary Islands, and since they don't have any refugee or migrant camps on the Canary Islands, because it's for tourists, right? It's just built purely for tourists. Now these migrants are put in hotels. They're given hotel rooms. So I thought that was a funny story in the middle of this, but it's a symbol of how these migrants are trying to find different routes of coming into Europe, even if it's illegal. They understand that this is not the way it's supposed to be done, but obviously then search for a better life. So that's the way they decide to do it. In relation to this, let me show you this article about Frontex. Frontex is a new EU border agency that's supposed to protect a lot of these nations who don't usually have the issue of illegal migration from the seaside, like Portugal, Upper Spain, and France. And now this new EU border agency is being probed over harassment, misconduct, and migrant pushback claims. So they're being crippled in a way, and all of that contributes to the fact that Europe right now, they're trying to shut down the borders, but the border agency that we actually have that's supposed to enforce the laws are being crippled. Whether you believe that it's a good thing or a bad thing, it certainly means that we're going to see more and more illegal immigrants coming into Europe in 2021. Based on the numbers that I'm seeing and reading about here, I think that we'll see the numbers of illegal immigration into Europe skyrocket in 2021. I do want to be fair. A lot of it is also that we can no longer in 2021, because of the pandemic, monitor the people coming in, and we can't register them in the right way. So it's not, you could, in a way, you could say that a lot of it would have just been normal immigration, but now it's being turned into illegal immigration because they're not going to stop coming, but we shut down the borders. So a lot of people are going to come in illegally who otherwise you would have considered just a part of the legal people coming in every year. If the lockdowns are extended further into 2021, and I don't see why they wouldn't be, I think it's going to be a tough situation for the migrants who come into Europe, because we're already at a state where a lot of countries are just barely getting by. And at the same time, these migrants who are coming in to seek a better life are going to get a very, very rough treatment. And there won't be the money that in some cases they think there will be for them when they come in. So I just think if we don't somehow inform them, if we don't somehow let them know that now is not a good time to come to Europe, they're gonna run into a trap. We're gonna see more of these, like this Frontex company that has to send them away at the borders. They literally have some of the boats where they send them back to where they came from. We're gonna see more and more of that, and it's a tragic situation for most people involved. I'm still a firm believer in helping out these people in the nations they come from, because I think we could take the same amount of money and much more effectively help them out in Syria and these nations in North Africa. But obviously that wouldn't radically change Europe, so why would we do that? I'll keep updating you guys about this whole migrant crisis as we move further into 2021. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you get the videos about this subject when I push them out to you guys. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.